And welcome back, folks, to the Decision Zone 2020 Decision Matrix. You decide. You're the decision makers, because it's a decision time for you to decide. It's an election now. Welcome to it. It's the Too Late Show Erection Coverage Special with your host, Dr. Beelzebub Crow. Yeah, you basically already know what it is, you know. I mean, maybe some of you are new here. Traditionally what we do is we're a talk show style format where we have guests come on and we talk about, entertainment, the various newses of the day, the whatnots and the what have yous. But today is a special day, at least in the country that I have my fifth citizenship in, the United States of America. It's an election day here in the USA, and of course, I have already voted several dozen times, but, for those of you that are less up on things than we are here at the Too Late Show, we're here to help you catch up with the real truth, okay? We've got more truth per capita than any other broadcaster on the air tonight, okay? That means there's 70, 75 people here in the studio. We've got at least 150 truths per person. You go to CNN, Fox, MSNBC, any of those other jokers, they've got maybe 2 or 3 truths per person in there. It's not particularly impressive. But we want to thank you, the audience, for joining us tonight, all right? If we do our job, we're going to keep you a little more informed than any of the other so-called news outlets out there. So thanks for joining us. Now, if you're seeing us here live, it means that you're reaching us on YouTube. And it's very important to note that if we do too many truths on YouTube, they will kick us off. So you all need to tell us, in the chat there on the side, if we're doing too many truths, tell us to rein it in, because we don't want to get kicked off before we're able to call the election for tonight. Now, obviously, there's a few different races going on. Now, the big one, the hot one, the one that everybody's talking about, is for the presidency. Now, that one's important, obviously, but we just want to keep you, our good viewer, abreast of the secret president race that's happening right now. Now, not a lot of people know about this. Secret president is, of course, head of the secret government that runs the fake government that we all see on the TV all the time. And so the secret president is, orders of magnitude more important than the standard regular terrestrial president. We're very happy to be representing, of course, President Jaguar, the incumbent. What can you say about President Jaguar that hasn't already been said in deeply, deeply controversial CIA tell-alls and, articles written on the deep web? Here's a guy, veteran of at least 100 secret wars, including the Quantum Wars and the Time Wars. Here's a guy who has been secret president for 100 years now, and we've seen an unprecedented growth of intelligence agencies, intelligence agency hedge funds, tech companies. President Jaguar is the one who's really responsible for helping the intelligence revolution of the last century really kick off. So, here on the program, we're obviously very happy to support Jaguar as secret president. But probably what all of you are more interested in is the regular government races that are going on right now. Okay, so first of all, you got the race for president. Okay, this is a big one. Now, some of our viewers may not know what a president actually does. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes because of all the media blitz and attention that the president gets, what his job actually might be. But mostly what it is sitting behind the desk in the Oval Office and signing papers. Now, the government doesn't happen unless the president signs papers, okay? So he's back there on the desk. He's signing papers 24/7. So it's important when you're voting for president that you make sure that you vote for somebody who you think can sit behind a desk and sign papers, all right? So that, that's one of the main things I look for in a presidential candidate. Now, vying for the seat, we've got, on the one hand, Donald J. Trump, a real estate developer from New York. On the other side, we have Joseph Biden, a lifeguard from New Hampshire. And those are just the two big parties. Now, we've also got, the third parties and the fourth parties, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, we've got the Libertarian candidate, Joe Jorgensen, who's winning awards all over the country for having the most badass nicknamed vice presidential candidate, possibly ever in history.
Did she make the name?
Oh, no. This was an applied moniker. Technically, the name was not stolen, although, we may need to have some private investigators looking into that. It's entirely possible. And then you've also got, a lot of other parties running for president. You got your Vermin's Supreme. I'm sure somebody from the Green Party is doing something this time around. I'm not really sure. They took Vermin's Supreme off the Taco Bell menu?
Yeah.
So they just have regular vermin now. Just a regular vermin taco. That's really sad. I mean, really taking the sour cream off the vermin, it's like, that's really what makes it for me. Oh, well. Well, okay, look, viewers, listeners, however you're consuming this media, it's important, like I said, we're going to keep you ahead of the curve in terms of information here. So I just want to bring the audience's attention for just a moment to the infoplex that I have set up in front of me right now. Now, I have, count them up, folks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 active screens. So I'm actually taking in 5 different axes of partisanship all at once, right? And I'm sort of dying for the partisanship of the country so you don't have to, right? I'm taking in all of that different information, I'm filtering it, I'm spitting it back out at you, right? So what I'm doing for you is filtering out all the opinion, all the partisan spin. I guess you could say this area is sort of a zone where spin is not allowed. I don't know what you would call that, but it seems like a good sort of place to do broadcasting from. But I'm going to take all the partisan spin out of it and just deliver the true facts directly to you, the viewer. So let's see. What have we missed in the last couple hours here? Now, I'm seeing there's a lot of numbers that are happening with this election right now. Some of the numbers, and I don't want to offend any of our colorblind viewers, but the numbers are red and blue, right? So when the numbers go up for your team, that's good for your team. And if the other team's numbers are higher, that means that you're losing. So right now, and I don't want to scare anybody, but right now the numbers are 73 blue to 48 red. And this is still early days yet. But then in other numbers, we have 38 blue and 35 red. Now, folks, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really know what any of that shit means. But what I do know is that when a little bar gets filled up by a color, if you think that's the good color, that's a good thing for you, right? That's a good thing for your family. That's a good thing for the economy. And so I don't know what's going to happen when these little bars, presumably they're sort of battling against one another, and eventually one of the bars will overtake the other. And then I think that candidate graduates and goes to electoral college, I think is what happens after that. And then like the traditional electoral college degree takes 4 years, right? But if you want to do an advanced presidency, you can get a postgraduate and do a second 4 years.
I heard you could get a scholarship by bribing the right officials at the school system.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the key thing is you want to bribe foreign officials, right? One of the other things we're going to keep track of here for the audience tonight is foreign election interference. We've been hearing a lot about it. If you've turned on the TV or the radio the last 4 years, you've probably heard something along the lines of, "This is NPR and Russia politics." Right, and I don't have much of an attention span, so I can't really track a lot of that. But what my financial analyst tells me is that foreign election interference is one of the biggest growth industries in the world right now. So what we did several weeks ago here on the Too Late Show with yours truly, Dr. Beelzebub Crow, we launched our first cryptocurrency, Interference Coin. And now, Interference Coin is a little something that we've tokenized election interference. And what you can do with Interference Coin actually as a foreign entity, right? Let's say that you're a turkey, not like the bird, but the country turkey. Or let's say that you're a Georgia, right? Not the state of Georgia, but the state of Georgia. Or let's say that you're a Russia or even a China. You know, if you're any of these countries, you can approach us and purchase interference coin. And right now, what you can do then is then spin that interference coin with any of our partners, you know, Soros Industries, Coke Industries, My Coke Dealer, you know, any of those different guys, you can give them the interference coin and then they will do the election interference for you, right? So it not only does it sort of give you plausible deniability, it's also a job creator. That's right, folks. We're doing our own election interference here in our very own people here in the USA. We're doing our own election interference, okay? We don't need to outsource that to other countries, okay? We're bringing those jobs back to the US with interference coin. So, you know, it's kind of late now, but you could get a jump start on 2024 or 2028, you know, go ahead and buy your interference coin now. You could probably go pick that up over at splatearth.com, one of our affiliate sites. If you can't, I'm sure it will be debuting there soon. You know, it may have all been purchased by Turkey already.
Get your one chance to participate in the distributed speech of public or private companies.
Preferably both. You know, you want to have a nice hedge fund that you can access, but you also want to be trading stocks, you know, as long as you can get insider information, of course. You don't want to be doing that blind. That's insane. Why would you do that? All right, let's check in with the numbers again, because I think they might have changed since the last time I looked at this. You know, numbers, they change a lot around here. Let's see. Okay, so we're still 73 blue versus 48 red. Now, in terms of states here, you know, we've got some of our states are already reporting in. And folks, what a lot of other news places are going to show you is, you know, like how many precincts are reporting in, or, you know, whatever. We're doing something very different. We're going to tell you what percentage of the vote has been manipulated by interference coin. All right. So, and this is going to vary from state to state, you know, across the course of the evening. But right now it looks like Oklahoma, Arkansas, West Virginia, Illinois, Kentucky, some kind of a rectangular state to the east of Pennsylvania. I'm pretty sure that's a separate state. Maryland, and then some other kind of state up there in the northeast, kind of a sort of a weird kind of claw hook-shaped one. Those have all been completely interfered with 100%, and we can in fact report solidly here on the Two-Lay Show that the red states are going to Donald J. Trump and the blue states are going to Biden. Yeah, that's right. You heard it here first, folks. Nobody else is going to tell you that.
Following the long and very great, tradition of election interference by the CIA.
Oh, sure. Our sponsors, the CIA.
Democracy!
Well, we're actually, the CIA is really, their specialization is more foreign election interference. You know, domestic election interference usually falls more under the FBI's purview. Right, yeah, and they don't like us. Traditionally there's a little bit of a, organizational rivalry between our patrons, the CIA, and the FBI, the bad guys. And we don't really want to step on their toes anyway. I'm sure they've got all sorts of operations going right now. So in addition to the groundbreaking coverage that we're bringing you, we're also going to have... Oh, folks, I have an important announcement. The numbers have changed. We now have 80 blues for Biden. And, okay, and now, according to the CNN website, there's the president of Vermont, the president of Florida. According to CNN, Trump and Biden are running to be the president of every state individually. That's interesting to note. The Fox News website doesn't say that. MSNBC doesn't say that. I haven't checked to see what my good buddy Joe Rogan is saying down in Texas yet, but I'm pretty sure he knows that there's just one president. But yeah, folks, the numbers have gone up. It's now 80 blues to Biden. I'm assuming this might be like the number of tanks they get, or possibly the number of billions of dollars that they get to campaign for the next time. Again, I'm not sure what these numbers mean, but I do know that the blue is for Biden, because blue for Biden, and then red is for Trump. So just a little mnemonic device to keep that straight for you guys. Okay, now, again, I don't want to interrupt myself too much by interrupting myself, but the numbers are stable for now. So hopefully pretty soon we can have some of our guests on. There's a few folks that we're having on tonight. You know, we've got mathematics and statistics wonderkind, Nath Silver. We've got in the spirit of doing a heckin' nonpartisanship tonight, we're having on a Trump and a Biden supporter, right? To really hear out some perspectives that maybe you haven't been able to hear much this election cycle. So we have a pirate, Captain Bigbeard. He's here to talk about his support for President Trump, and then we have a gentleman named Quinton. I didn't catch his name, but he's here to talk about Joe Biden. He said he has a chart that he's very excited to talk about, so we can't wait to hear from those two guys. And then of course we will always be joined by our traditional staff, our producer, of course, our maestro on the ones, twos, and possibly threes over here. Yes. And later on in the show, we're also going to be hearing from a law enforcement officer. So get ready for all that stuff, folks. Hopefully pretty soon here we'll be able to talk to Nate Silver, and he'll maybe be able to tell me what these numbers mean. I don't really understand numbers personally, so hopefully he can help me out with that. All right, let's get back to these numbers and maybe what they mean. I've been trying to figure this out for the longest time. It does look like thermometers filling up, folks. But all right, let's see if we can break this down by state a little bit.
Does America have a fever? Or?
I can't tell. If this is measuring fever, I think America is really, really sick, because 51 degrees doesn't seem like a healthy number to me. All right, let's see if I. What happens if I can I enhance? I want to look at Kentucky. Enhance. All right, I'm not seeing anything about Kentucky. Very boring state. So what are the battleground states this year? I hear a lot of people talk about battleground states every time there's an election, and I'm not sure if that's where the civil unrest is happening, or if that's where maybe if there's a runoff, that's where the two guys do like a sword fight. Maybe I don't know what that whole situation is, but it's a different set than normal. Usually you hear about Pennsylvania. That's a big one. Wisconsin, that's a traditional battleground state, but this time we got battlegrounds all over the place, right? We got Florida, we got some people are saying even Georgia is a battleground state. Pretty wild.
Has entered the arena.
Yeah, Georgia has entered the arena. We're doing a battle royale. It's all 50 states. Everything's up for grabs. Including all three branches of normal government plus the secret government. Because we're not just talking about the presidential race. We're talking about the House of Representatives. We're talking about the Senate. I don't really know how the Supreme Court works, but maybe some of those guys get elected too. I'm not sure. But we do know that the House and the Senate and the other house, which is the White House, those are all up for grabs, right? And it's anybody's game at this point. Now, according to the phone call that I had with Nate Silver earlier, there's only 538 numbers total that Trump and Biden can fight over. So if we're saying that Trump has 50-something and Biden has 80-something, we've still got 400-something outstanding numbers. And I'm assuming those are possibly come from states somehow. I'm not really sure. Hopefully, though, we can get somebody to come explain this to me and to the audience. Mr. Nate Silver, do we have you in the audience here somewhere? I know you've been frantically tapping on your phone. Okay. We've got Nate Silver coming on soon, folks. But before he comes on, I just want to take a moment to talk about our sponsors. Now, we've talked about the CIA. Sure, they love us. But tonight, this show is brought to you by China. Now, we're not necessarily in the pocket of the Chinese government, but they did give us an enormous diamond to say a couple of key things during the course of the evening tonight. So, let's just say the interference coin is already on deck, folks. And, in exchange for us getting the diamond, I was going to talk about, But I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. So, you know, I'm not saying that we got censored by YouTube, but probably YouTube censored us.
Oh, you were going to talk about... But we decided not to.
Yeah, we decided not to. Yeah, it's not related to the diamond, but for me, it's about the diamond. All right, folks, so we have a very special guest to introduce to you tonight. You probably know him from, you know, the 538 Politics show or the podcast, or he's on ABC News frequently. You know, he is some sort of a numbers genius, you know, and I don't really understand him, but we're very excited to have the statistics master here himself tonight. Let's hear it for Nate Silver. All right. Yeah, clap, everybody. Hey, Nate, it's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Yeah, absolutely. Have a seat right over here.
Time.
Oh, yeah.
I've been telling this guy about numbers for so long. He's really a very fast learner, and we'll try to like slow things down a bit for our viewers. But
I hope so.
But you're one of the only people I can talk shop with, so it's really good to be on the show.
So you know, we've seen a lot of models, you know, and a lot of polls for the election, and you know, people out there have been questioning the polls a lot in the last 4 years. My question is, why do reporters only talk to Polish people?
Well, actually, I happen to know a lot about that. Like, the poles are actually related to the complex functions which have poles. Like, it basically, when you're looking at complex analysis, which is, you know, holomorphic functions from the complex numbers to the complex numbers, they have these things called poles in them, which is where the function goes to infinity. And you know, it's just like, you know, imagine like a circus tent or something, like pushing up a two-dimensional sheet. So basically, these functions can be like visualized as kind of like swirling two-dimensional sheets. And so the poles are very, very tall. You know, they're infinitely tall, in fact. And so because of that, when you're measuring, when you're polling people, the reason they call this polling is because of these poles is because they go to infinity, they are worth more than other votes. Like, so the Polish people, like they're because in the complex plane, you know, they're just really, really up there, up at infinity. So that's why, I mean, like, a lot of people think it has to do with race or something, but no, that's just a mathematical truth.
Yeah, it's just mathematics. That's fascinating, Nate, and that actually clears a lot of things up for me that I was really misunderstanding and misattributing most of all. Now, okay, so here's the next big question I have. There's this electoral college, right? And there's like some number of numbers that you need to hit to win. Is it just a score? Do they just need to get a higher score than the other guy?
Right. So the electoral college story, we have to get to 538 electoral votes, is just kind of something that we tell to people to, hide up the actual math going on behind there. Like, it's way too complicated for anybody to understand unless you've been like going to like Mega Harvard to find out about, the biggest number and such. Like, you know,
the founding fathers, since they were all Freemasons, they had access to that advanced mathematics.
Yeah. They because they were able to telepathically communicate with God. They were able to inform him or inform them like what the biggest number was, and so that's what actually is going on in the background here. Is they're trying to figure out who can calculate the biggest number for the fastest, and when you vote, this is actually on the astral plane, like selling your brain's computational power to go towards this computation of the biggest number. So it's really kind of getting slurped up in there. It's one of the reasons you should never vote, actually, is because this is how they hijack your brain this way. I mean, unless you wear a tinfoil hat, that is actually good protection. They still haven't worked that one out. If you do vote, I recommend wearing a tinfoil hat while doing so. Otherwise, you're just gonna get because this is all true because we live in a simulation, of course. And basically, certain actions that you do that seem innocuous on the material plane are actually just totally fucking you on the astral plane.
Yeah, absolutely. And that must be one of the reasons that we have the vote in secret method, because if everybody could see what everybody else's votes were, that would be maybe too much of a clog on the system, and the whole simulation would shut down. And then you've got some sort of an interdimensional coup situation on your hands, which is really bad for continuity of government, folks. In case that's not entirely clear. Oh, okay, all right. So that's a couple things cleared up for me. Okay, so we've got the polls figured out. Okay, that's part of the actual the subsurface simulation that makes the vote actually run, and then we've got the electoral college figured out. That's just the 538 fake numbers to make sure that we have to assign some number to it. We can't just say it's an infinite God number.
It's basically like it's when you're voting, it's kind of like inverting hash functions for blockchains. Like that's what they're kind of hijacking your mental computational ability for is this has all to do with what was your cryptocurrency called again?
Oh,
interference coin. That's why the battle of cryptocurrencies, which essentially is like the battle of memetics at the end of the day, like is really where this is all going towards. Like, cryptocurrencies aren't just at the digital level, they're actually also at this the astral level as well. Like all the time your body is producing energy that's being harvested by high dimensional beings, and this is how they this is how their money works. We are living in a simulation to produce thoughts that they can hash and use to do things like their version of inverting hash functions, like for blockchains. Yeah, exactly. Like gold is, kind of what they embedded in to make it look like, something innocuous to us. Like they want us to collect gold and stuff, but actually that's just kind of one of the main thing to like make people more powerful. I mean, or it's really not that useful for us, but yeah, for these high dimensional beings that are, controlling the universe, certainly.
Sure. Which is why the U.S. has a massive stash of gold under Fort Knox, in case we need to summon several demons all at once to, bolster our military power. We'd be able to get a lot. Look, folks, we could get so many demons, okay? Look, my dad has been, he's been contracted with Halliburton for decades now, and I probably shouldn't say anything more about that. Let's just forget I said that. It doesn't matter. Minecraft parody. So, all right, one last question, Nate. Now, a lot of people are saying that this election is going to be a landslide, one way or the other. Some people say it's going to be a landslide for Biden. Some people say it's going to be a landslide for Trump. Some people say it's going to be the song Landslide, but covered by the Dixie Chicks. What does the concept of a landslide have to do with the votes? Is this like a tectonic plates thing? Is this an Earth's gravitational field thing? Help me understand the concept of a landslide.
All right, so this is another one of those tricks that the lamestream media pulls on people by talking about like landslides and really hiding the truth of what's going on about splintering realities in the multiverse. This is actually elections only really make sense from the perspective of a multiverse, where essentially what you have to do, and this is the acid cults have known this for a long time, is just print lots and lots of like tabs of acid with like your candidate's face on it, and then get lots of people to eat it, and this kind of like allows their that candidate's egregore to like work and burrow into their brain and basically mind control them, and anybody who is kind of downstream from them, like friends with these acid fiends, these very, very dangerous people, will end up also falling into that mind control cult. And so like this so when they're talking about landslides, they're really just talking about like a sort of like cascade of minds. One gets changed, and then the other ones get changed, and the other ones get changed, and and the whole point is like if the people that support your candidate eat the most acid with their face on it, like that will at least guarantee that you will be in that part of the multiverse where that candidate becomes president. So so elections really just end up working out like whichever way you end up deserving, like in your own path through the multiverse, your world line, as the physicists would sometimes say. But for all the people that are going to get trapped with Trumps tonight, that's obviously was their own fault, their own karma, basically. And all the other people, all the people that have the good karma, they have mega Bernie, basically like a 35-year-old Bernie going as president.
Oh wow, nice. So they would not only get Bernie, but Bernie as a young man.
Oh yeah, anything's possible.
Interesting.
When you think about parallels.
I mean, I guess it is multiverse theory, yeah. So I've just been slamming a ton of acid with Gary Busey's face on it. So fingers crossed, I wake up and Gary Busey's president tomorrow. That'll be a real win for me. It would be a win for me, and it would be a win for America, folks. Let's not forget that Gary Busey, very talented actor, very weird long face, like the face of a horse, but a horse that's been doing crack for years and years and years. All right, well, thanks so much for coming on, Nate, and thanks again for bringing up the acid cults. Thankfully, we have a law enforcement officer coming on later in the program who's not related to Nate Silver, who's a totally different guy, who's going to teach us a little bit more about acid cults. All right, Nate, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. We really appreciate everything you do, and I guess I would be really remiss if I let you off the show without asking, since you know everything as a mathematical genius, can you tell me right now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, no hesitation, 100% accuracy, who is going to be president?
Hillary Clinton.
Wow! Dark horse candidate, everybody. Hillary Clinton. And that's Nate Silver, you know, and he's not ever wrong, except for the last time he said Hillary Clinton was going to win, but we have all collectively decided to say that never happened. All right, you know, give a big hand to Nate, everybody. You know, thank you so much for coming out. I'm sure he's got a lot of other appearances to make this evening, so we want to thank him so much for taking some time to come on our show. Well, okay, folks, it's time to check the numbers again. I already checked CNN last time, so let's check in. Let's check in on another news network this time around. Maybe let's see what Fox News has to say. Oh my God, folks, I have a missive from the Crow. Thank you. That's yikes. Yeah, folks, that's the Crow that my dad. Oh, now I have to get into this for the new audience members tonight. Okay, just brief rundown. Okay, yes, I'm the son of Satan. No, Satan's not a bad guy. It's him and the demiurge co-construct reality together. Okay, whatever. So, but my dad sent a crow demon to keep me company, and I just got an important message, a very soggy important message from this crow. Let's see. All right. Oh my God, it's the new numbers. Oh, these are the numbers for secret president. Oh my God. Let's see. So Jaguar's winning by 26 billion votes. Wow, that's pretty nuts. Oh, but there's something here on the bottom. Oh, that's why it's wet. Interesting. Well, folks, it looks like here in the state of Georgia, where our studio is, one of our metro Atlanta counties, Fulton, this comes directly from the storage room there. They had a storage room full of votes where a pipe burst and all the ballots got soggy. Folks, this could only mean one thing. It means the goddamn Atlanteans are trying to interfere with our elections. They're coming in through the pipes. They're coming in through the toilets. They're not sending their best tridents, folks. Now, we need to guard against this Atlantean threat very, very carefully. If they start rupturing pipes, like, I don't even need to get on how our critical infrastructure is in very, very sad shape right now. If the Atlanteans start coming up here with their assault fishermen, with their little tridents busting holes in pipes, folks, we won't have any clean water anywhere in the state. It'll be just a nationwide Flint water crisis, okay? We'll have Atlanteans in the pipes. They'll be, they'll be pooping in the pipes. We'll be drinking mermaid poo-poo water, and we'll be getting cholera all over the place. So this soggy ballot might be the domino in the domino train that bursts the pipes that floods my basement of democracy. And we cannot sit idly by and let this happen. Thankfully, we have somebody on the show tonight who might be able to help me figure out this whole water situation. Interesting. Well, I guess maybe it's time to have our next guest on the show.
Are you ready for me, matey?
Yes, I am. Folks, let's welcome to the show Captain Bigbeard, a genuine pirate. Oh, Captain Bigbeard, welcome to the show.
Yarr.
It's very nice to meet you, matey.
I'm here to plunder your elections.
Yeah, right. Well, that's great. Have a seat right over here. This is kind of like the captain's chair, if you will. Yeah. Make yourself comfortable. Yeah, well, thanks for taking time out of your busy plundering schedule to join us here on the show, Captain Big Beard. Now, one of the things we like to do here on the Too Late Show with Dr. Beelzebub Crow is we like to heal the partisan divide. And so we're gonna do a big heckin' dialogue with everybody tonight, right? And so we brought you on here tonight because you're a Trump supporter, isn't that right? Right? But you have a very interesting perspective on the Trump presidency that I think our viewers will find very enlightening. Please tell us more.
The Democrats be trying to tax me boats. And the only taxation I'll take is the black spot.
Right,
Now you see, these big, beautiful boaters I see voting for Trump, see, they're my type of people. Because the only thing I like more than a ship is a shipwreck, more to plunder.
Absolutely. And so, I would imagine, pirating, it's not as popular as it used to be, despite the best efforts of the best Americans like Captain Johnny Depp trying to bring it back, but I imagine that it's tough for you out there, right? There's not a lot of political guys that are trying to get on the side of people with boats, right? It's not really something that gets seen a lot. So
Underrepresented. Yeah. Very underrepresented.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what you would like to see the seas be like. Like if you had your way and Trump was just able to do all the sea law that he wanted to do, what kind of new sea laws would you like to see passed?
Well, the maritime laws and the requirements for semaphore and all them flags and stuff. See, there only be two flags I like. The yellow flags over here and the old Jolly Roger. Now, if I were to elect, if I could choose for Trump to be president, I would have him be making me boating more easy and more easier. And then he would give plunder to everyone.
Oh, plunder.
Yes.
That sounds like
And then he'd build that sea wall we've been talking about.
to trap the Gulf of Mexico into one place and make it a giant outdoor water park.
And easier. If there's walls, then the boats, the merchant vessels, they can't get away. See? The scurvy dogs will run them down.
Locked in. I like the way you think, Captain. Is it Captain? Admiral?
I be Captain Big Beard.
Captain Big Beard. Sorry, yeah, I just want to make sure I get your title right. Okay, so the big beautiful boaters thing. Totally get it. I don't think I've literally ever seen another candidate talk about boaters as a voting bloc. But what are some other of President Trump's stances that you think are good for the pirate community?
Oh well, he had that one thing about making lots of money. Yeah, I do like that. I don't really know too much else about politics. See, we don't have Wi-Fi out on the seven seas.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you're all like what, like parents delivering things?
Yar, I came here on a charter boat.
Oh,
see, me boat's still out on off the coast.
Where you can't get arrested because you're in international water.
Yar.
Yeah, okay. That seems pretty smart. All right. So I guess another question I would have for you, this is a more, sort of a piracy-related question. We've been hearing a lot in the last few years that one of our sponsors, China, has been doing a lot of piracy. But I don't ever see like a pirate ship full of Chinese guys. So what kind of piracy are they doing?
I got a big bone to pick with China. Ever since they took all their piracy to the cloud and be stealing me DVDs, there hasn't been enough work for me out on the seven seas. And if they can steal things like intellectual property and corporate secrets and stuff, nobody puts those on boats anymore.
That's so true. They're just getting transmitted by the internet.
I just want a fair shake.
See, a lot of people say that you wouldn't download a car, but some pirates would download a car, right? And if they can download a car, then we should make it to where Captain Big Beard can steal a car off a boat. Because if you can download a car, then you should be able to steal a car on a boat, I think is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, all right, I mean, that makes sense to me. That seems eminently rational. Like your best interests are on the line here, right? So you're voting with your wallet and possibly your cutlass.
It's simple logic, matey.
It's C logic. Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, so I guess just moving on to another piracy-related question. What are your plans for the next 4 years? You know, let's say that Biden gets in there. Do you have any sort of any, or does the pirate community have any plans to get closer to the Biden administration?
Well, if they don't get closer to us, then we'll get closer to them, see? Now, if you be catching me drift, we'll just be patrolling the 7 seas, all silent like. And then next time he gets on a boat, bam! Mutiny.
Oh, mutiny. That's dangerous.
For the scurvy dogs.
You gotta watch out for that on the 7 seas, I hear. Have you ever been mutiny?
Oh no, I keep a good hand on me mateys.
That's good. That's good. You don't want any mutinies out there on the high seas.
No, certainly not.
Yeah.
Plus, they got me cutlass.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, you're a sword guy. I got a sword too.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah, a little self-defense sword. Yeah, mine's more of like a broadsword scenario, you know. But it is a sword, you know. I like yours. It's got a cool little curve to it. Yeah, that's pretty fancy. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Captain Bigbeard. You know, I really appreciate it. You know, it's good to be able to hear multiple perspectives from everybody. Yeah.
It's been good having you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Yeah, hang on there, buddy. You're trying to take my trying to take my little statue there. That's okay. Look, buddy, you've insulted my honor as a talk show host, and I'll defend myself.
Because it has all come down to this.
I'm sorry about that, folks. Talk show law is very involved, and if you let something like that slide one time, people are just going to be looting your studio for the rest of the time you're on the air. So you gotta really sort of set the law in stone about that sort of thing. Oh man. All right, so let's see. New information here. Okay, so it looks like Jaguar is still leading in the secret election, but it looks like that pipe that burst in Fulton County did, in fact, actually get some of the wires wet that were going into the election machine. And so his opponent is actually shooting up massively in the exit polls right now. But I think that's just a technical glitch. So getting back to the regular election numbers, I'm tabbing over to Fox News right now. They have a totally different setup than CNN. Fox News has eschewed the sort of thermometer situation in favor of a U.S. battleground state kind of graphic. This one has a lot of numbers on it too, folks. I'm not going to disappoint you. This has Texas with some numbers. According to this map, it looks like the numbers are real. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. Sorry, folks, I misreported. I did a fake news. Fox actually has something better than thermometers. They have little gauges, little temperature gauges. So, this is perfect. I can understand this completely. So right now, the temperature gauge is 87% for blue, which I'm assuming is still Biden. But Florida is 95% for red, which I assume means that Florida is very hot, which is factually accurate in my estimation. Let's see. Yeah, go straight to the presidential results, the good stuff. Okay, yeah. Oh, folks, Fox News has the numbers. They got numbers. Oh, and their numbers are bigger than CNN's. So according to the numbers on Fox, Joe Biden has 129 blue and Trump has 100 red. Now, you need 270 numbers to win, right? That's something useful that Fox told me that CNN was trying to hide that information, trying to obscure it somehow. But then also here on the Senate and House, it looks like the blue numbers are also just shooting right up. So it seems like, Fox and CNN kind of agree on like the direction that the numbers are going, even if the graphical representation of the numbers is radically different. All right, let's see what some of the other news places are. So let's check one of our sponsors, Russia Today. Let's see what RT has to say for us. Oh, they've got a very, very simple number system, folks. This is very elegant. They just have blue numbers for Biden, red numbers for Trump. According to this, Biden has 131 blues and Trump has 92 reds. Now, I'm no elections expert like Nate Silver, but I'm pretty sure that when the blue number's higher than the red number, it means that Biden's winning.
Right, it's time to call.
Well, now I don't want to do a 2016. I'm going to wait until the last possible second to call it, and then I'm going to delete all my social accounts. So anybody who complains to me, I won't see it. And I'm immediately going on vacation to Belarus to spend the interference coin that I've made in the last couple weeks here. All right. So it looks like we have a pretty decent agreement that Biden is leading right now. But as we all know, numbers could change at any time for literally any reason. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. There's really no way that you can know it all. So we're just going to keep throwing numbers out there. All right, back to CNN. They're going with the small number method where Biden has 89 blues and Trump has 54 reds. But it's hard to say who's going to win in some of these key battleground states like Florida, where it's extremely hot. And then some of the other battleground states like Pennsylvania, where there's a gas leak, basically throughout the entire state. So is our YouTube chat coughing up anything interesting? I know we've probably been dazzling. We've been doing a shock and awe campaign on your hearts and minds for the last little while here. We do want to give you a moment to catch your breath, and see if our viewers have any particularly interesting questions. I'm an expert on a lot of stuff, folks, and just because I don't know about all this election bullshit, don't let that fool you. I'm an expert in a lot of other areas.
We've got some philosophical prognostications going on. Some nice commentary from Mr. Zane saying, when the real is no longer what it was, nostalgia assumes its full meaning.
Yeah, I find myself greatly nostalgic recently. In fact, I heard about from a friend of mine. She was staying over at her boyfriend's place, and she woke up this morning and she was doing her normal yoga routine, but she heard something from the downstairs where her boyfriend was, right? And it was a series of songs like "Yeah" by Usher. Get Low by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, right? He was doing a whole sort of pre-2008 playlist for himself, and he was hyping himself up for the election. So, I think nostalgia is probably overtaking a lot of people today, in a lot of very strange ways. I particularly am nostalgic for the times when I could, go to a dang concert. You know what I'm saying? Without all these COVIDs around. But, I don't want to talk too much trash. We here at the Third Floor Society and at the Too Late Show, we're heavily invested in the pangolin market. So, when all this blows over, we really think those stocks are going to shoot right back up to where they were.
We've also got some commentary about our interference coin, but more specifically, the people need to
democracy.
Sure. Can we eat M&Ms tonight safely?
Okay.
The reptilians are deceiving us about the color-coded message, So
yeah, I've been hearing a lot about the M&Ms recently, and I do want to remind everyone that M&Ms are a safe food to eat. Now, a lot of people are saying that yes, the reptilian aliens are using the color code of the M&Ms to disrupt our normal thinking patterns and make us do things we would never normally do. But I'm actually here to tell you that M&Ms are 100% safe, and that has been proven by Joe Biden's son, Hunter. Now, there are some pictures online. You could find them at that you'll see Hunter has actually arranged a number of M&Ms next to his member in such a way that the M&Ms not only act as a sort of a measuring device, but also touch the skin in such a way that it proves that the M&Ms are actually safe for human contact. So Hunter has actually done everybody a huge favor by measuring his penis via the size of M&Ms by showing us that they are safe to eat. Now, I wouldn't eat those particular M&Ms, but that's just because I don't know what his sexual history is. You know, I could really get something nasty.
The Russians probably already got him with some of that long-term radioactive stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that just you use a single Chernobyl prophylactic and you're cancer for life.
Maybe we should take this time to talk about our real best sponsors.
Our best sponsors of all time.
Yes.
Well, folks, it's important to note on this most presidentious of days, the most presidential of liquors that you could possibly put inside your dang old body. That's right, folks. It's Old Crow. Now,
Old Crow.
Old Crow has a storied history, right? But especially on election days, it's important to remember that Old Crow whiskey was, well, first of all, Old Crow whiskey was the first bourbon whiskey, right? When Dr. James Crow invented the sour mash process in 1863, he created a whole new way of living. A way of living that's brown and warm and delicious and forgetful and sleepy and kind of stupid, you know, but he understood that it's that exact kind of beverage that keeps the gears of government grinding. So when Abraham Lincoln became a fan of Old Crow's bourbon whiskey, you know, he gave it to his number one generals in the Civil War, which is how Ulysses S. Grant got his hands on a barrel of Old Crow bourbon whiskey, and he wrote in his journal, "Yes, verily, we did drink many crows that night, and me and the boys didst while out, very much so on the plains, and it was a very good day the next day, except for our terrible hangovers, which had destroyed us far more than the Confederacy ever could." That's a direct quote from Ulysses S. Grant's diary. Now, Old Crow bourbon whiskey is not only powerful, folks, it's cheap, and you can buy it even if you're almost broke. So just remember, folks, from one president to another president to today's presidents, everybody should get drunk on Old Crow. And that's the copy that they gave me, officially from the Crow Company. So remember that. It's very important.
Because
All
it
right.
has all
Numbers
come
check,
down
numbers check.
to this.
See, we got a 275, we got a 268. Who's going to give me a Texas? Who's going to give me a Texas? All right, we're at 89 blues to 72 reds. Folks, it's tightening. Things are getting a little wild. Let's see, we've got, okay, some of those more northernly states, the kind of trash ones are checking in, North and South Dakota. I don't really know what goes on up there, but they're reporting in. So is, let's see, we've got Alabama, South Carolina, Colorado going blue. Surprising, I don't know, probably like 10 people, but it did happen. Oh, and it looks like they called New York also, so that's a big one. Checking in further on down the line, it looks like in the Senate we've got 40 blues to 36 reds, so things are tightening up there as well. Folks, it's tightening all over the place. It's getting nuts. It's getting crazy. Are you buckled in? Are you ready for the second half of the night? Can we have even better guests on in the second half than we had on in the first half? Can I keep drinking liquor and keep remaining coherent for the rest of the night? Who knows? These are the kinds of things that we're going to find out, folks. But you got to stick with us. You got to stick with us, folks. You got to stick with us. All right. So in the second half of the show, we're going to transition to do a couple more guests. We're going to do more of the ongoing numbers coverage. And if you're really lucky, we might be able to call this thing by the time we go off the air tonight. Mr. Producer, Mr. Maestro, what do you say we take a little break here? You know, get ready for the second half of the show, call up our other guests. Sound good to you guys?
Yeah, well, Guy in the chat said that, Antifa's coming to commandeer the live stream, so we might need to pay them off with some of our Soros coin that we got through that trade.
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to go back online, pretty soon.
Yeah, so technically Antifa's not going to be able to get to us because I've actually stolen like 75 Confederate general statues and placed them in a ring outside the house. So they're going to be stopped by those Confederate general statues, and we're going to hear them tearing them down like at least an hour before they get in here. Right, so we'll be safe. Like, I've got so many traps and booby traps outside. I've got traps for Antifa. I've got traps for the Boogaloo Boys. I've got a huge, just a crate of Hawaiian shirts out there. If those guys come in here with AR-15s trying to blast us, they'll get distracted by the Hawaiian shirts. You know, I've got like 75 guys out there who are like ex-Vietnam vets. So if cops try to storm in, they'll get waylaid by the Vietnam vets, start hearing sob stories about that. They'll get totally distracted. Look, we're totally safe in here in the studio.
That's good to hear.
Stay tuned, folks. Don't go anywhere. And if you do go somewhere, come back, because we're here and you're there. So keep it tuned and dialed, and just keep it going, and just make sure that you stay here and keep it going, and don't stop. Deciders.
Democracy!
Election. Deciding time. Welcome back to Decision Matrix 2020. The people decide. Decision makers. Decisionplex 2020 decision time. And here with your host, Dr. Beelzebub Crow. Thanks for coming back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. All right. The numbers have really changed a lot while we were on break. It looks like Biden, depending on who you're looking at, is up to as many as 121 blues, and Trump is maintaining somewhere between 70 to 90-something reds, depending on where you look. Now, we've got a great second half of the show for you tonight. We got more guests. Okay, we've got a Biden supporter coming on. We've got a law enforcement officer who's going to join us in the second half, and we've got more hard-hitting political coverage. Now, something I've been thinking about during the break is I wanted to go through and talk about some of the election coverage that we're not doing, right? Because we're doing the good stuff. We're very professional here at the Too Late Show, and we just want to call out, some of the fake news organizations for some of the problems that their election coverage is having. So starting at the top, okay, CNN, sometimes known as the Clinton News Network, their setup is pretty good, okay? If I had to give it a comfy score, like how long do I want to just sit on this page and keep hitting refresh and looking at it, I would give it a comfy score of about 6.5. It's not particularly panic-inducing, but it's not giving me a lot of information right out of the gate. I got to really dig for it, and that makes my brain hurt, and that makes me very angry. And when I'm angry, I drink more beer. And when I drink beer, I go to sleep. It's a vicious spiral. So I'm really looking for a website that has a comfy score of somewhere between an 8 to a 9, right? So I feel good about sitting on it and hitting refresh, obsessively over and over again every 10 seconds or so until about 5 in the morning. So let's see. Let's.
Drudge is good for that.
Oh yeah, let's see what Drudge has on here. DrudgeRetort.com. Let's see. Oh, they've already got 2021 on their website. Whoa! All right, this site is not comfy at all. It's very, very panic-inducing, but it's very clear. I'll give them that. Right at the top of the website, Biden 131 blues, Trump 98 reds. That's about all I need. But the font is terrible. There's italics here where there don't need to be italics. It's distressing me as a typeset. Kind of hate it. Let's see about MSNBC. How do you spell that? So it's MSN.
It's S before the N.
Except after.
And then BC as in BCE, but without the B.
Right. Okay. So it's MSNBC. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Let's see what they've got. Oh, okay. This is kind of nice.
They have democracy.
Democracy. That's my favorite kind of politics. Okay, MSNBC is making me turn off my ad blocker, so I'm gonna give that a comfy score of a 0. And actually, I'll be seeing them in court. I'll be suing them for that, for blocking me, because I was trying to. Whatever.
It's fucking freedom.
That is. It's my freedom to block them. Right. That's right. I was exercising my freedom to block those ads. All right, let's try the Fox website. Let's see. I'm gonna give that a comfy score of 6.57. The fonts are nicely evened out, right? Nothing's really jumping out and attacking me. Plus, Fox has these dials that are making the election very easy for me to understand. It's kind of like an accelerometer type thing, and let's see. Biden, he's 71%. But Trump is 95% on Florida, so that's more of a. And then Ohio, Trump's 88% there, so that's kind of a kind of noise. So all of that's making me feel good. I understand that stuff. That's great.
Dr. Crow.
Yeah.
You know that type of hot chocolate that has the marshmallows in it?
Sure. The little swirlies at the top.
Yeah. So what do you think the comfy score would be of a nice mug of hot chocolate and just read the marshmallow leaves, as it were?
Yeah. So like if I'm swirling the hot chocolate and the marshmallows are telling me the election results.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like a 8. That's a 9. That's a solid 9.
That's where we should be. The hot chocolate.
Yeah, we're a nice mug of hot chocolate, but the marshmallows up top are your brains, and we're swirling them all around. And then we're gonna drink your brains. I didn't think that through all the way. I'm not trying to threaten your brains. I'm not a zombie or a zombie-oriented individual, so I'm not gonna. That's not my deal.
It's okay. I outsourced.
Oh, thank God. Whew. All right, that's good. So we've got, okay, not to get too distracted, folks, we do have a couple more guests that we're going to have on tonight.
Also,
Yeah.
we have a celebrity endorsement.
A celebrity endorsement?
Yeah.
Okay, folks, we're going to need to kick this over. Jonah, take this over for us. Can you introduce the celebrity to us?
This segment of the Too Late Show is brought to you by the Third Floor Society and me, Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that's incredible. I mean,
He's actually been watching this whole time.
wow. I mean, I knew we had reach, but I didn't really think we were getting into Hollyweird. That's incredible. Well, okay, all right. Well, Mr. Freeman, if you're watching this, I love your voice. It's fantastic. I really liked you in let's see, what's the Stephen King prison movie? Shawshank Redemption. That was a good one. The sequel to the one where Jim Carrey was God, Bruce Almighty. That was probably one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So yeah, I mean, one of America's greatest actors, one of the world's greatest voices. Endorsing the Too Late Show with Dr. Beelzebub Crow.
So it's great that Morgan Freeman, has endorsed our show, but I think we should take a moment to talk to everyone about the dangers of deep fakes. And
Oh, sure.
It's definitely on the show. But this one time, I went to a nice steakhouse in town, and I ordered a steak, and they said it was prime.
Sure.
Then I went and took a
Wait, prime or
sliver-
prime now?
Prime steak.
Oh, okay.
Select the choice.
Yeah.
But I went and took it back. I took a sliver of it back to my genomic dissector, and
Oh.
I ascertained that it was actually just choice steak. It was a deep fake beef steak.
They did a deep fake beefsteak on you.
Yeah, and this is
That's
a big
incredible. I didn't realize that they had gone beyond YouTube to actually the real world. Yeah. Well, yeah, watch out for that, folks. If that's true, who knows what other meats are deep faked? We're talking like maybe the Taco Bell taco meat is fake. What if that's a deep faked meat? Okay, look, this is just another reason why it's very, very important that you pick up some of our emergency prep food buckets, right? So we have sort of Jim Baker style. We're selling these apocalypse kits where you can get 30 or 40 gallons of dried cream corn or something like that. Keep that for when the boog or the apocalypse or whatever it is that you think is going to happen happens. And that'll keep you safe, your family safe. We've got all sorts of stuff. For you gamers out there, we've got a big 30-gallon drums of freeze-dried tendies. You just bury those underground with a couple of graphics cards and you'll be fine after the bombs go off. Me personally, I've got a 10-gallon drum of Blue Chew buried out back. Uh-oh.
The audience wants to know. Oh, crows.
Hang on, audience. The crow spirit has brought me. Is it?
Old crow.
It's a note. A note and a shot of crow.
This dry
Well, thanks,
old
crow. Let's go. Yep. Go. Nice job, crow. All right, let's see what we got here. A little message from the crow spirits. Shot paid for by candidates literally in bed with your dad? Oh my God.
My man!
Well, hang. My dad? But what candidate? Hang on.
We've got some new folks in the audience. They may not know about that.
Oh, sorry, folks. Yeah, so, okay, look, technically, yes, I'm the son of Satan. Okay, no, Satan's not a bad guy. Yes, he was kicked out of heaven for personal reasons. Oh, shit. Hey! Yeah! Yeah, hey, Dad. Yeah, it's Beals. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, the Crow Spirit just came and told me that some candidates were in bed with you. What the fuck is going on?
Democracy!
Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, just send me a cut, man. It's cool. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, shit, really? So we're supposed to say that he's gonna win. Okay. All right. 15 diamonds? Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's all good. All right, look, folks. I don't do this a lot, but it's come to my attention recently that some important happenings have happened. You know, there's what a lot of people don't understand about politics is there's a lot happening behind the scenes, right? You know, there's a lot of there's special interests and lobbies. There's a lot of lobbies out there, and so it's important that I remind the audience that the Too Late Show with Dr. Beelzebub Crow is a pro-cult show, okay? We believe in cults. We support cults, okay? Look, I've been in a lot of cults myself, okay? Both as a leader and as a follower and as an informant and as a CIA asset in Jonestown in the final days. But the key is we're not against cults, right? We think they're good. We think they're cool. We think they're positive. They provide community, you know, for a lot of people that otherwise wouldn't have any. But
We've got a beef.
we've
One new cult.
got a huge beef with one of these new cults out here. And I think an election special is as good a time as any to announce that we're declaring an official Psywar against QAnon, so-called, and the followers, the koalowers, the followers of Q, the koalowers. What? Psywar! We're doing a Psywar on them. And here's why. Now look, there's a lot of good cults out there, okay? They could take up your time, okay? You got, Scientology. You got, Thelema. You got Catholicism. All the good ones, all the hits. But check it out, folks. There's kind of an unspoken agreement when it comes to cult leaders. And that's that you don't indoctrinate all the easy ones all at once. There's kind of a 10% rule where a new cult is only allowed to take 10% of the culturally alienated people to their cult at any given time, right? And if you hop out of line, you disrupt the whole industry. You start to have cults folding all over the place. You have to have a bunch of aggressive sellouts. You have a bunch of Heaven's Gate type situations. It's really ugly. Nobody wants to deal with it. So what normally happens when a new cult gets started up, you get 10% of all the culturally alienated people, and then that's it. You got to really work organically from there. But Q came in, and here's a guy, some sort of, some sort of posting genius, He's got a degree in Mega Harvard, 5 PhDs in posting from Mega Harvard. And
I saw him on 4chan once, too.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, he did do a postdoc at 4chan. And so, he thinks he can come in here and just, grab up all the culturally alienated people, all the people who have lead poisoning, and just take them up all at once and get them into the cult. So then that leaves us and other new cults with a complete dearth of followers, right? We don't have enough people. So we're declaring a Psywar from here on out. We're gonna do memes. We're gonna save all the aunts. We're gonna save all the uncles. We're gonna save all the big wet nephews, that have fallen into QAnon. All those cousins that you are pretty sure smoke crack and you don't really talk too much outside of when your grandma says you have to. We're gonna go save those cousins for you, so you don't have to, because we know you're not really interested in it, but we can make a little money off them. So we're We're going to get them out. You know, we're going to do a Psywar. We're kind of like tier 1 meme operators. You know, we're going to come in on Apaches, you know, and sort of rappel down into the house. We're going to bust it. We're going to throw kind of a logic grenade into the door. And boom, flashbang of logic, blast in there. You know, we're going to just absolutely assault them with facts.
Don't get the acid.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we're gonna put acid in the water, definitely, yeah, in all those various locales. But that's just part of our normal CIA handbook, and we're gonna save them. So you know, if you've got an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or possibly a stepdad named Hank, you know, if any of those people have been completely taken over by QAnon, and like you kind of care a little bit, but like that would, like, to talk to them is just like a little too much, that's fine. You just donate to us, and then we'll do the outreach necessary to save them and get them into a better cult that's about, you know, like helping people or something. That's not about harvesting adrenochrome.
So, you know, the chat seems to be pretty well behind, you know, our new PsyOp and counter Psywar program. But Extreme Gamer wants to know if all this will help keep your brain smooth.
Oh, sure. Well, all this. Well, Extreme Gamer, that's a great question. Look, here at the Too Late Show, we really like to promote smooth brain. We like to say smooth brain, smooth life. And so part of what having a smooth brain means is, so thinking hard, that creates wrinkles in the brain, right? Because like when you gotta like clench up your brow, and that kind of like compresses your brain, right? It creates wrinkles. What you want is a smooth brain, right? Because with a smooth brain, thoughts don't really, you know, they don't have to do like a lightning pattern thing. They just kind of slide from the bottom of the brain to the front of the brain, and they just kind of drip out your mouth, which is really ideal. So by all of this, if what Extreme Gamer means is watching the Too Late Show with Dr. Beelzebub Crow, that is actually scientifically proven to be one of the most brain and smoothening things you can do. Right behind playing football and applying one of those big pressure sanders directly to your scalp, right? So we're actually the third best thing, and the only thing that won't kill you in the top 3. So yeah, you should keep watching the show, but beyond that, if you really want to maintain a smooth brain lifestyle, it's important that you eat right. So you're going to want to eat fast food between 5 and 10 times a week, and try to never eat fresh vegetables. That'll make sure that your brain is the smoothest it can possibly be, and if you combine that with a heavy diet of cigarettes, you'll be not thinking in no time.
Third Floor Society.
Election alert.
Oh shit, we got an alert? Whoop, 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 whoop. Are we calling a state? Are we calling the whole country? Let's see here. What have we got? Oh, okay. We got. Wow. Fox News took the numbers away. They heard what I said about them, and they changed their website live to keep me from understanding. They're part of the Psywar now.
How kind of them. See, if we were to truly understand.
Oh, you're right. They helped me keep my brain smooth.
Yeah, you're the folks that just trying to mess with all that.
All right. I see you, Fox. Very well played. Thank you for keeping my brain smooth. CNN, kind of boring. Their numbers haven't changed at all. Oh, I know. I'll ask the fate dice. All right, the fuzzy fate dice, they say that Biden's going to win by 7. All right, but let's check the other. Let's check the RNC dice. Oh! Trump got snake eyes. I don't know what that means. I'm not really a dicemancer, but depending on where you sit politically, this is either a really good or a really bad sign. Whichever one you think it is, it's that one.
I think that means you have to drink.
Oh yeah, snake eyes does mean you have to drink. That's basically universal law.
My man.
Doesn't even matter what the game is.
Because it has
All right,
all
let's
come
see
down
if any of these
to
battleground states can be decided yet.
Pour some out for democracy real quick.
Blood. Oh, Kansas has been decided for Trump. Okay, folks, I have a quick change that I want to make to my reviews from earlier. MSNBC on the top does have a scrolling thing that tells you the latest presidential results from every state, which is a very powerful thing. It's very anxiety inducing. So if you're really trying to get your heart rate up on this election night, I don't have to, because look, anybody get any of these when they went to go vote? Any of these, these little democracy styluses?
They help your wayward son carry on.
They help your wayward son carry on. And what they don't tell you at the polling place, this is just a little secret for you Too Late Show viewers. If you pop the little rubber thing off, it actually makes a perfect little democracy cocaine straw. Or, should I say, powdered substances of legal vintage. So, whatever you need to be snorting up, just to keep democracy going. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Has some extra, so if you just join them, you can go.
Yeah. Well, we've actually got a plane park. We do not have a plane parked out back. Air America is shut down, and I don't know what cocaine you're talking about, officer.
I mean, so if we did have some, though, do you think it would be the Antifa super soldiers or the Proud Boys that would be trying to go after that first? Like, who are we defending?
That is an absolute 50-50 split. Based on the stories that I've read, and based on the Antifa and Proud Boys that I know, they have kind of both an equally Hooverous nasal cavity. But that's not, cocaine's not a partisan drug. Cocaine kind of cuts across the partisan divide. A lot of other drugs are sort of locked in, for one side or the other, but cocaine is really an equal opportunity dopamine enhancer. It doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat or Tory or any other made-up party that probably doesn't exist. I don't know. It doesn't care. You're good. But look, part of the heckin' bipartisanship that we're doing here on the Too Late Show, we had Captain Big Beard here earlier. He was a Trump supporter. But we're going to introduce you now to a Biden supporter. Somebody, again, somebody whose perspective you may not have heard during this, during the election cycle. I'm sorry, sir. What's your name? Arthur. We have Arthur Swindlequench here tonight. Just a regular Biden supporter, and he's going to come talk to us about, why he's excited to vote for the guy that he voted for. All right. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Arthur. Hey, wow, you got a...
Hi, it's good to see you.
You got a whole thing here, don't you?
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay, okay, just take a seat right over there. It's a big old thing of notes there, but okay, I just won't worry about that. Well, thanks for coming to the show, Arthur. We really appreciate it. We had a Trump supporter on earlier in the evening, and now we're interested to hear from you and hear about why you support Mr. Joseph Biden.
Well, the Biden-Harris ticket is, one of the just most progressive tickets of our generation, and I feel really honored to be a part of this movement that's pro all the good things and anti all those bad things, and I mean I just couldn't bring it to my conscience wouldn't let me vote Trump, my pocketbook wouldn't let me vote Trump, so I just had to go for Biden because all his policies and all that other good stuff. Yeah.
That's great, Arthur. And we hear that a lot on the Too Late Show. When we go out, on the streets and talk to people, is that they're very excited about Biden and his policies. Yeah. Now I don't know what policies are really. We don't the only policies we really have here at the Too Late Show are do what Dr. Crow says, unless it contradicts what someone from HR says, and don't hog liquor. Those are really our only two policies. So what are some of Biden's policies that you're really interested in?
This dry old crow.
Well, he had that one policy where he said that if you made over $400,000, you might get taxed a bit more. I'm not currently making $400,000, so and I've got a little vindictive streak, so I just figured, screw those guys that make a little bit more, they should probably get taxed, maybe. That's how I feel.
I understand that. Look, I just want to say that I make a lot more than $400,000 per year, but I also I pay taxes, and I pay the fair amount of taxes, and I don't have any money in any bank accounts offshore. But that's just me. So tell me, you say you make less than $400,000 a year. There's a big difference, between $400,000 and zero. So during COVID, during this economic downturn, have you been suffering, or have you been doing okay for yourself?
Well, it's personally, it's been really rough for me because, in a Trump economy, people like to have pets, and in my line of business, it's a lot harder to really balance the budget effectively with all this Republican related stuff going around. So it's I just I want to say I'm voting for Biden because I really like his policies. That's kind of a lie. I don't really know what they are. I just think that it would be a bit better for me and my business if we had a Democrat in office.
That's fair. And that's kind of similar to what we heard earlier from Captain Big Beard. I mean, you're clearly in a different industry. You're in the pet industry somehow, some tangential to the pet industry somehow. And of course, this financial downturn, it is tough for everybody. Tough for humans, tough for dogs, tough for little kitty cats, tough for everybody. Tell me a little bit more about that. Like, how are you in the pet industry? Do you have are you a dog farmer? A cat farmer? That seems impossible to be a cat farmer.
They are hard to farm, it is true. But no, I'm actually a certified public accountant. I balance the budgets for different animal shelters. It's really cute. And these shelters have a problem. They keep a bunch of pets, and the pets stay around too long, and nobody wants to adopt them because of the bad economy and whatnot. These shelters have to make really hard decisions about the adoptability of these pets and how long they can house them. And so I provide a statistical approach to handling shelter capacity. If you want, I can talk about it. I did bring these notes if you want to see. Okay, well, you see what the problem is that. Oh, okay. Should I stand up, or are we good? Oh, okay. Oh, here it is. Oh, excellent. Oh, that looks great. Yeah, so you see, the problem is there's too many dogs in the shelters, right? And my job is to balance the budget. As you can see, as dead dogs go up, stonks go up. So I provide, a statistical-based system that determines just when exactly we should be, euthanizing the pets in the shelters. And oh my, it looks like the easel didn't like my data.
Yeah, it's a bias.
Anyway, so with the Biden presidency, it would be way easier for me to spread my business model to different shelters around the United States.
Export it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. That checks out. Yeah. Look. I understand a lot of viewers might take issue with what you're saying here, but look, it is a hard problem that needs to be solved, folks. Look, it takes this kind of hard, level-headed decision-making to actually do governance, okay? And if you have too many dogs running all over the streets, dogs running all over the place, it's not good for society, okay? That's a dog-based society where dogs run the society, and that's not what we have here. This is a democracy, not a dogmocracy, okay? That's a very different thing. It's a totally different situation. So, look, I understand. And I guess now I do understand, how that situation ties into your support for Biden. But tell me again about this tax thing, because if you're making money now, but then if you export your model, won't you be making over $400,000 a year? Won't that be a problem for you?
Well, you see, as soon as theoretically, if I were to break that line, then I would immediately change into one of those people that calls other people takers. You know, because because at that point I'm putting way more in my tax money into the economy, and you know they are too, so they deserve whatever public services I get too. But I still feel a bit sour because the work that I'm doing actually directly helps people, and that's not what I want to do.
Yeah, well, it helps people. Doesn't help the dogs.
Right.
Well, it helps some dogs.
Some dogs.
So like 20% of dogs.
What I always tell people is if they got a problem with what I do, then they can go down to the shelter and adopt a pet. They've got plenty.
You heard that here first, folks. Okay. Look, I know there's a lot going on in COVID times, but I do think that Quentin? Arthur. I'm sorry, I get my sweater names mixed up sometimes. It is a very nice sweater. What he's saying is that you should probably go down to your local Humane Society shelter and pick up one of those fresh little doggos or kitties before they get gassed by somebody here like Arthur. Okay, so go support your local animal shelter so somebody like Arthur doesn't come in and make a bunch of money off your dead doggos. Okay, all right. Well, Arthur, thank you so much for coming on the show today. You know that's really been enlightening, and it's nice, folks. Tonight here we've done a heckin' bipartisanship, and we've got guys like Arthur, we've got guys like Captain Big Beard. It takes all types to run this beautiful perverted country, and we need to have a million guys like this, a million different guys having little different cool business deals, across the aisle, across the political spectrum, and can I get you to take the oath of a non-bipartisanship here with me tonight, Arthur, and will you dialogue with Captain Big Beard after the show?
Oh, of course. I'm always willing to talk to people. Pirates, I don't get to see them too often because they stay out on the seas. And normally they they prefer parrots to dogs and cats. But yeah, I'm always open for a two-way dialogue.
I feel like you guys, I don't know personally. I haven't been pirating in a long time, but I feel like rats are a big problem on pirate ships, and I feel like cats are the natural predators of rats. So if we could kind of put that together, do like a kind of like a cat for rat trade scheme, maybe we could get the rats in the animal shelter, kill the rats, let the dogs go. Smells like opportunity. That's right, Arthur. And you know what? That's what you get here on the Too Late Show with Dr. Beelzebub Crow. New business opportunities, new cryptocurrencies, new scams, new schemes, new cults. We've got it all. We got it all, folks. Arthur, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. We really appreciate it. Now I've got this. Now I got this sweet business model that I got to figure out sometime. We got dead dogs, we got stonks. Look, folks. We got it all here on the Too Late Show. Oh, but I'm forgetting about this whole election situation we got going on here. Let me check the numbers.
Because it has all come down.
Let's see what we got
to
here.
this.
All right. Oh, folks, the numbers are getting closer. Now, Biden has 98 blues, but Trump has silverfive reds. So there's only 3 blues more than the reds, which like I said, I'm not a math expert. I would have to get, Nate Silver back in here. But I think that means that it's closer than it was, at least 5 minutes ago. But again, that's just on CNN. Also, the Senate numbers, they both have 40. They're just kind of like, they can't move. They're doing a tug of war, but the rope's not moving, folks. Let's see. Okay. Sure, we got more numbers. States, numbers. States and numbers. Number states. There's 50 states. For a top line race in Kentucky, looks like old Cocaine Mitch beat out Amy McGrath by a pretty hefty margin. So we will have another 4 years of, turtle leadership in the Senate, which is, apparently the people in Kentucky are very excited about that. So one of the other sort of high-profile races here, a special election in Georgia. We got Warnock and Loeffler neck and neck. Everybody's, breathing hard, panting, racing for the finish line. Although presumably the candidates are probably chilling somewhere. I don't know. Where would I have an election night victory party? some kind of nightclub, some kind of vampire style nightclub, probably, if I was going to be a senator. Have my Senate office somewhere in downtown, somewhere in one of the clubs. Probably keep my office in Iris, maybe. Have a nice drum and bass set going on all the time while I'm trying to sign bills. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good time. I don't know, maybe I'll run for Senate one of these days, but I feel like it would just be too easy. You know, my dad's Satan and all that. It's like he knows everybody, so I feel like me running for office would just be kind of a waste. Okay, a couple other states reporting in here. We've got Louisiana is a red state, surprising exactly no one. Well, now this is interesting. Looks like New Mexico has gone for Biden this time around, and that's directly south of Colorado. So you got to think there's a lot of hippie runoff going on there. That might, you can't entirely attribute it to that, but that might be one of the things that's going on there. Now, we're coming up pretty close on the end of our coverage here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, obviously, we already know who's going to win, right? Because, we're funded by the CIA and the deep state. And so, we got the election results last night. But we're still going to keep up the pretense for you folks until we end the show. So, if you're trying to sort of check out early, go to bed, not really worry about the rest of the night, you can just stop watching TV when we go off and, you'll know everything you need to know. We do want to stress that you can't hold us legally liable for anything we've said tonight, because I did say parody one time earlier, and that kind of is a blanket legal covering, is what my lawyer told me. And he doesn't lie. So you can't hold anything against us, if we misinform you and you wake up tomorrow and you're like, oh no, wait, hang on, Hillary Clinton's not president. That's what Nate Silver said. You can't really blame that on us. That's on Nate Silver. So anything that you think is wrong with the election or your life or anything at all, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the 538 website tomorrow and find Nate Silver's email address, and you're going to email him any problems that you have, right? Because that's on him. He did the prediction. That's his thing. It's not our thing, once again. Now, returning back to the election coverage here, I'm gonna rate a couple more of these websites based on their comfy scores and whether or not I think they're confusing me or not. All right, so let's go over to the Breitbart website. Always some good, fair, and balanced coverage from Breitbart. Oh, they've got the Drudge thing. Oh, but they got a lot of pop-ups. Oh, boy. Okay, so they've got, So, yeah, I'm going to give them a comfy score of a 6. Like, they've got the weird alternate italics thing going on that is really bothering my eyes. But the problem is they also don't really have any numbers here. It's just a bunch of words and letters, and I don't want to read those. I want to look at numbers, and that's not helping me at all. So Breitbart, boo, 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 no good. Let's see. What's another? Well, let's do an ABC News. That seems like ABC. That has to be easy. I mean, that's just those 3 letters. Let's see. All right. So ABC News, that's a pretty comfy splash page. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 7.5. It's nice and bisected. You got the video on the left and then the little bars on the right. George Stephanopoulos is on here, which is that's kind of freaking me out. I don't like that very much. But I do like these numbers over on the right. They're very nice little temperature bars, kind of like CNN has. So ABC, all right, it's fine. Ooh, their state breakdown is good. Their map of the U.S. is very shapely. Kind of getting turned on by this map right now. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and get away from that before anything gets out of hand. All right, let's see. All right, folks, so just tallying up our final scores of the websites here, I'm going to say the comfiest page is probably going to be either ABC or MSNBC. For the most clear and concise page, I'm gonna recommend Fox News. The little temperature gauge thing they have, it really makes me want to go every time I see a race, which is very exciting. It's very fun. Highly recommend it. For the best overall information, though, I'm gonna recommend that after this stream is over, you're gonna open up this stream in a tab, all right, and don't ever close it, all right, so we can really drive our engagement numbers for the next 10 or 12 days or so. And then do whatever the hell you want on the other tabs. I don't really care. All right, so we're going to go back, check these numbers one last time, folks. You know,
We've also got some input from the chat.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's hear what the chat says while I'm checking these numbers.
If we were to take a little break from the electioneering and, you know, the usage of interference coins.
Illinois, Indiana, South Dakota.
So they want to know if Dr. Beelzebub Crow advocates boofing nootropics, or whether boofing is actually the fastest way to get nootropics into your brain, or maybe the slowest.
Well, so it actually depends on how smooth your brain is. Part of brain and smoothening is making your brain link up with all of your gut biome, all the way from your brain to your butthole. So if your brain is as smooth as it can be, all the bacteria all up and down your system is smooth as well. So if you're perfectly smooth brained and you boof drugs, they shoot up like a light speed rail straight up to your brain, right from the bunghole to the brain. That's that B2B line. And so that's how that works. So I mean, if your brain's not smooth, boofing is probably just gonna cause pain, irritation, inflammation. You want to go ahead and get smooth brain before you boof, right? And it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing, because boofing enough of whatever will also make you very smooth brained. So if you manage to boof enough, it'll make you smooth brained, and it's easier to boof. So it's kind of a cascading effect. I've been boofing kratom for decades. Highly recommend it.
I feel pretty good about the work that we're doing to spread this knowledge out to the rest of society. Quote society.
Society.
Do we want to do a little bit of legal disclaimers to head off past any takedown notices we might get?
Sure.
Visits by the parody parrots asked me.
Yeah. Look, folks, we have a pair of parody parrots in the back that are our legal team, and they let us know that we have to just say parody every time we say something that might be unfactual or livacious or violenciatio or Minecraft. You know what I'm talking about. Doing stuff in Minecraft. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. So we just want to say that when we say stuff like that, we're joking. It's a parody, and the pair of parody parrots have to let you know that it's a parody, to let me know, to tell you that it's a parody. We're doing satire, okay? Fair use, satire, parody in Minecraft.
This whole show is in Minecraft.
This whole show is in Minecraft. We did the show in Minecraft. Well, no, actually, what we did is we filmed it. It's a Smash level where all of us are playing Minecraft Steve in a Minecraft level in Smash Brothers. So it's actually a sort of a double parody. That one's for the real heads out there. Also, RIP the Smash community. No, okay, sorry. Go ahead. Hey, Doctor, do we have Dr. Beef Supreme out here somewhere to come talk about the Chiron? Because we've gotten some real advancements in the Chiron recently. Maybe you could come help us figure this out. Dr. Beef Supreme, so good to have you back on the show. So, Dr. Beef Supreme, you're the creator of our wonderful... Here, sit down. Dr. Beef Supreme is one of our oldest friends here at the Too Late Show. He's kind of our Q, not that kind of Q, not... No. The kind of Q, James Bond's Q, not the other... God damn it, you know what I'm talking about. Dr. Beef Supreme, tell us about the quantum enhancements that you've made on the Chiron recently.
Well, as our viewers can see, the Chiron has been through quite a lot lately. I've upgraded its like main quantum brain. Like it's linked via the quantum internet to a quantum satellite, and then looped around the moon for to the secret encryption base, and then back, and then looped back to the Chiron again to like throw off the trail, and then it goes off to the secret base where the quantum computer that runs it lives. It took. Yeah, the one that's not in Antarctica, like, of course, I have quantum computers on every single continent, but, the one in Antarctica is actually, for secret projects. Like, in this one, obviously, the public knows about the existence of this quantum computer. The public, people have been looking for it for a long time. I get lots of people, like, trying to, like, figure out, like, from all the code words I'm dropping all the time, talking about the hidden location of the quantum computer, like...
Too dumb to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, I've already said where it is in what I've said just so far. Like
10 times.
The location is encoded in there. Just, yeah. Yeah, definitely, don't just stare at static in the television while listening to my voice and try to, like, determine the shape of its location using remote viewing. Yeah, that definitely won't work. No. But anyways, yeah, so it talks directly to the quantum computer now rather than going through, the intermediary degradation, tactic that I had to use but to hide its signal before. And so down there's actually, a quantum machine learning AI. It's like a topological quantum computer. And it's been running, it's been running quantum natural language processing algorithms on Book of Lies, Book of the Law, all these different mystical things. So, and like I Ching. So basically, it knows like everything about reality at this point. It's also, of course, read all the physics textbooks, math textbooks. Basically, it's the cross between von Neumann and Buddha is kind of what this machine actually is. Yeah, so anyways, like, it predicts the future, and, like, it's so, unfortunately, the encryption is so powerful that the future prediction capabilities are not yet, unlocked on the LEDs. Like, I'm just really bad at the LED part. Like, the quantum stuff, that's no sweat, but, like, LEDs, that's actually really complicated. Yeah, because if your brain's already a quantum computer, then you should be able to understand it pretty easily, Yeah, you just think about your own brain, and then, and, yeah.
A lot of people use 3% of their brain, but you use at least 5% of your brain.
Oh, yeah.
You're at least like 200,000% more powerful than other people.
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, I to save energy, I use less of my brain than other people. Like, I've been building, an exocortex that, using my Urbit, like, to, store my, external brain and do all the, like, smart brain thinking for me. And then, like, just, run all the, algorithms and all the things that I'm experiencing just for me while I can just, like, kind of go on autopilot, and just kind of do whatever the computer tells me to do.
Yeah, the computer, The computer assembles everything via the algorithm, shits out a little culture pill for you. You just pop the culture pill every day, and you know everything there is to know. Isn't that right? Mm-hmm. That's incredible. All right, so I guess I have one more question. I mean, I guess we're going off the air here pretty soon. I mean, we've only got a few minutes left, folks. You're saying this thing can predict the future?
Yes.
So could this tell me who's going to win for president, and I don't even have to think about this bullshit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, Nate Silver actually used he paid for access to this. That's how he knew that.
That's how he knew.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's really, a lot of people actually, that's how the responded.
That was all Nate Silver. I should have known.
It's all the people. Yeah, all the people that are paying me for these, predictions are why the quantum computer exists. Like I couldn't have afforded it, without people paying me for it ahead of time. So it's kind of like it's a really good scam that people are going to get in on soon. Like once all the wannabe cult leaders out there and future cyborg Trumps and mecha Bidens with enhanced brains with brain enhancement chips with Neuralinks talking directly to Elon Musk Yeah, he's right around the corner. Like you think Biden's old, like, you know, he's already on Regeneron 2. Like, you know, that Regeneron 1's only just the first one that they told us about. Like, but like, I mean, and that's what they told the media that they gave Trump, but he actually was on Regeneron 2, which is making him younger right now, which is why it would be a really bad thing if he wins the presidency, because he's going to keep getting younger, and he could really go for that. Yeah. I mean, well, Barron is actually probably the chosen one that's going to, you know, overthrow Emperor Trump. You know, but it's going to take until the 2600s, unfortunately, according to the brain behind the Chiron, the quantum metachiron. Yeah, it doesn't lie, but you know, we'll all have necroserum by then, and you know, we'll have truth serum, and you know, and we'll have finally taken down big logic by then. You know, that's really the big thing that's been holding back the human race. Yeah.
Let me just shout out to Big Logic. We just want to say, you know, look, we mostly are sponsored by things at the Too Late Show, but we do have enemies too. And one of our enemies is Big Logic, okay, folks? Big Logic is ruining this country. It's prescribing values. It's doing norms. It's doing a hyper radicalization. I don't care for it, and I won't stand for it. And we should abolish Big Logic immediately. That's where I stand on the issue. That's true. It's keeping us down, and goddamn it, it's keeping our brains wrinkled. And folks, if we are ever going to get our country back, we need to smooth out as many brains as we can. Decalcify the pineal gland, re-smoothen the brain. You know, that's mostly what we stand for here at the Too Late Show, folks. President Jaguar wants to call in. Oh yeah. I will definitely talk to him on my tiny cell phone. It'll be bad audio quality. I'm very excited. Stay tuned, folks. We're running into overtime. Absolute overtime.
Well, I need to get back to the lab. You know, there's a lot of things to be done with the Chiron still, and you know, maybe I'll have the prediction working by the end of the night. We'll actually be. I mean, it's told me before that it's Hillary Clinton, but you know, the algorithm is constantly taking in new information. So, exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Beef Supreme. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Oh, it's President Jaguar.
Because it has all come down to this.
Dr. President Jaguar, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. This is me. And I just want to say, first of all, that I declare victory.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. A Jaguar victory.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me, President Jaguar?
Yes, I declare victory. Yeah, so what happened is there was a pipe leak from the Atlanteans that caused an overflow from the Flint River that did bother the election machine. But what ended up happening was that I ended up still winning by 328,509,000 votes.
Okay.
Which is significant because that is an integer that is divisible by all of its non-zero integers, which can be represented by 690 cubed, which can also be represented by 2 times 3 times 5 times 23 to the third, which
that's a classic hyper number.
Prime numbers. So yeah, so that was great. So hilarious. So what I'd like to tell you is that I was running for the Meta Secret President, which is the president that controls Secret President.
Wow. So you basically just gave yourself a promotion.
Well, the people, they gave me the promotion.
Well,
and,
the people, yeah.
I'm proud to say that I think we run a clean campaign. But what I did learn is that when you get the most votes.
Oh my God. President Jaguar, Meta Secret President. Oh, well, President Jaguar, the CIA is filtering your words in real time.
Rules, then you know how you actually win.
Okay, so you know the secret rules now.
Yeah, and so the secret rule is that you just declare victory.
That's all you have to do?
Yeah. So the secret rules just say that there's just one thing on the secret rules that just said declare victory, and then when you declare victory, then you win.
Huh.
Yeah, but no one knows that because no one has seen the secret rules, and so as long as you don't see the secret rules, you don't realize that all you have to do is declare victory. But
President Jaguar? President Jaguar?
So I declared victory at the beginning of this call.
We're live right now? So you...
Yeah, we had a hard time because... Yeah, did you hear me?
Yeah, you just revealed the secret rule to everybody. Yeah, you just revealed the secret rule to everybody because we're live right now.
Oh, yeah, so you know about the secret rules. Yeah.
Oh,
you got me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, we had a lot of issues from secret government leaks and meta conspiracy theories.
Oh, sure.
From QAnon.
Oh, QAnon. I didn't even consider that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had some big problems with that. They had gotten into reality tunnel exploration, and they had basically co-opted it with the profit motive, and so so they have a conspiracy that each corporation makes their own version of reality that they use to mind club you, and the most successful one is the one who spends the most cash on marketing their reality.
Okay,
so that
sure.
was the conspiracy theory that they're trying to spread, which we all know that is not real.
Yeah, no. If it was, I would be living in Adidas reality right now. Everybody's made up of tracksuits. Your skin is tracksuit. Well, Secret President Jaguar.
For this reality brought to us by Amazon, I'm glad to say that we ran a clean campaign. We were issue motivated and results driven.
Yeah, ran a clean coal campaign.
And that was to protect your luge from the Anunnaki.
Oh, and President Jaguar, look, our Lush has never been safer. A lot of people are saying that their Lush has actually gone up exponentially in the last 100 years while you've been secret president. And despite the Chinese attempting to pirate our Lush, they have been unsuccessful.
Yeah, they actually offered me 25 diamonds.
Wow!
But no, I decided that wasn't the right thing to do. And I don't know that my competition was doing the same thing. So
yeah.
So I know. Yeah. So the way that you actually find out the candidates for secret president is that you go to your local grocery store and you look in the magazine rack and you find Secret Society's magazine.
Okay.
And then you read that upside down and backwards, and the first letter of every word will spell out sequentially all of the candidates.
Oh. Okay,
so,
okay.
For those of you who have not been following the race, the other candidates besides myself, one of them was actually myself from 2016.
Okay, sure.
Another one, there was also Melania Trump's body double was
Ooh,
there.
nice.
And then Mega Bernie was also there.
Whew, he's scary.
But he was disqualified because he got elected as mega president in the Mega Bernie LSD reality and three-dimensional world. So
okay, yeah.
So,
yeah, you can't be president in multiple dimensions. Yeah, that's part of the interdimensional constitution.
Right. My main competition was someone named the Archdruid, Dr. William Price.
Oh my.
Yeah. So he did run a pretty good campaign, but it was later revealed that it was actually Robert Downey Jr. dressed as Archdruid Dr. William Price.
Oh,
and so
wow.
After that, yeah, that was actually leaked by QAnon.
Yeah, that's a huge scandal. Well, and that's what QAnon is here for. Like that's the real people's anon. That'll tell us all the stuff that the perverts in Hollywood are up to.
Right. Yeah. It's QAnon actually. I can tell you this as I'm secret president. They're actually just the S at NSA. And,
wow.
The investigation was led by the investigation was led by the main cop that lives underneath the Washington Monument, and they were thankfully able to arrest all the reptoid terrorists.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, all the reptoid terrorists have been arrested. The cabal is over.
Yeah, we brought it down, and I was advised by my college advisor from back in the day when I was at Mega Harvard.
Sure.
His name is Dr. Beef Supreme.
Yeah, good friend of the show. Friend of the show, Dr. Beef Supreme.
My man. He was able to help us out because we were than our other candidates because we were able to use Laplace Bernoulli Jacobi anti-inverted astral cryptolush to do our polling. So so we were able to find like all of like the polar complex functions and all the vertical and horizontal asymptotes. So we could find the infinitely tall poles on the complex planes. We were able to take Ramanujan's infinite sums, and also we're able to use some new proofs for the Riemann zeta function to be able to dive down on where those battlegrounds were going to be on the astral plane.
Well, and that also allows you to snort the margin of error, correct? And that will get you extremely high?
It gets you extremely high, and it's one thing. It's one thing to think about your life as something important, and it's a whole other thing to realize that you are just part of a Lush farm on a mega Harvard statistical model simulation.
Absolutely, just part of a decision matrix.
Right, yeah. And we have to make sure that we remain chaotic, or otherwise the seventh dimension Nielsen families that watch us and keep our ratings up will lose interest, and then
our reality will get canceled.
Yeah, so this is the reality that's been brought to you by the mainstream media, and I'm just thankful for everyone that did purchase the President Jaguar acid tabs, and because that was
they're the ones that made this happen.
Right, and thank you for laundering all that money for us with your interference coin. That was
we're not
fundamental to that.
We're not talking about that right now, but you're very welcome.
Right, yeah. I hope that you put that enormous diamond that I got for China for you.
Okay, Oh, hey, President Jaguar, it has been great talking to you. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna thank you, Parody. We don't have any diamonds.
As long as you keep saying the right things, then we've got China.
Oh, well, we got him. We got him by the diamonds.
There is a fixed set of numbers, and the person who knows the biggest number controls the world.
That's right, and we know the biggest number, or at least we know the guy who knows the biggest number.
All right, well, I declare victory.
Hey, you heard it here, folks. President Jaguar declares victory. President Jaguar, thank you so much for coming back on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you, and now I know somebody even more powerful, the meta secret president.
That's exactly right. Enjoy just enjoy it.
Oh, thank you so much, President Jaguar. You have a great night. 100 more years of Jaguar.
Absolutely. Check your crypto wallet.
Ooh, got a little drop-a-reno from the president. Looks like I'll be rich tonight, folks. Look, we've run a little long tonight, so if it's okay with everybody, I'm gonna check the Chiron and just get a result. President Jaguar says that if you just declare victory, it's right. So I'm thinking we could just do it. Is that how that works?
Sounds good to me.
All right, let me check the numbers one more time. I got to do some tabulations. Let's see. It's 75, 100,000. Wow. Yeah, folks, look. While I was talking to President Jaguar, the numbers have changed significantly. Folks, it's 192 blues to 108 reds. I'm thinking we're coming up on the end of this thing. This might be over, and look, again, I want to note I'm not an expert, I'm just a pundit, I'm just an incredibly charismatic, half demon, half human guy who has a show with international reach and possibly, the greatest impact in media of all time. And I just want to say that the real winner of tonight is President Jaguar. The secondary winner is the American people. I don't know, folks. I guess if we have to call the actual presidential election, let me just tally these numbers one more time. It's got 100,000, about a billion millions, 25 billion million trillions. Yeah, folks, I think I got to call it for Joe Biden. I didn't know it was going to be like this. Nate Silver, he said that Hillary Clinton was going to win, but I'm not seeing her name anywhere on any of these websites. and they just say Joe Biden. It's Biden. So many Bidens. So, look, folks, I don't know what we have to look forward to for the next 4 years, but the numbers right now say it's Biden, and that means it's locked in, Ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner, And I'm glad that you chose to join us, for this beautiful evening. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Biden wins. We did it. Oh, that's negative. Hey, that's not right.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
More content.
Yeah, we got content. Look, we got a talk show. We got a talk show, folks. Come and join us sometime. Normally it's not election coverage, but we do have, cool guests like that on all the time. Come check us out. See what we're about. Throw us some loosh. All right, folks, look. I'm Dr. Beelzebub Crow. For everybody here at the Too Late Show, we want to thank you so much for coming out. Have a great night, folks. Enjoy your election. Be sure to go do some Joker stuff tomorrow. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Love each other.